good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. Let me welcome you to this another episode of the Saudichress Show. And blessings to one and all. Good to see you again. And I hope that you will stay with us throughout the course of the show. And also, if this is your first time joining the Saudichress Show, let me just ask you to subscribe, like, and share the Saudichress channel, people. I want you, my viewers, to help me to welcome two of the brightest young track and field coaches on the island of Jamaica. Why not? Their work speaks for it all. And without any further delay, help me to welcome Lady Kamille Ennis, coach of the Lacovia High School. And with her, the gentleman, well, two of us here, so they say that is a rose with the thorns. Coach Dwayne Williams coming out of St. Mary High School. Welcome to you both. Welcome to the Saudichress Show. And of course, we are here to give as much information as possible to our viewers, to your fans, your athletes and parents. Welcome again. Miss Ennis, how are you doing this afternoon?
I am doing great. Thanks for asking.
I tell you, trust me, I know that you're under the weather a bit coming from last week's event, sports day, and training. I can just imagine. Mr. Williams, what say you?
Well, it's good to be here, and you know, and it's good to be on the show
Thank you.
to enlighten some of the fans or the onlookers. It's good to be
Yes,
here.
nice. People, you see, many of you are right here with us now, and don't just sit and be entertained, but hit the like button. And if you want to participate, you can do so in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever suggestion, whatever question, I'm sure that our lovely guest will be able to answer. One good friend came on the show and I said that he will never hide from any delivery at all. If it even a bouncer, he will pay them. And hence, I am sure that these are two capable guests. But as customary, ladies and gentlemen, I would really love to introduce you. But listening and reading and trying to get as much information on you guys, I can tell you there's too much to say. So I'm gonna ask you in short, just to give us, your viewers, a short profile of who Miss Ennis is. And we start with the lady, of course, ladies before gentlemen. Don't feel the way Mr. Dwayne, you have your time. So Miss Ennis,
All
your
right, good
turn.
evening, everyone. My name is Kamille Ennis, Head of Department for Lacovia High School, coach of the netball and the female track and field team. I've been a teacher for the last 16 years, coaching for the last 15 years, and I'm guided by the philosophy that states, if it's to be, it's up to me.
Wow. Interesting introduction there. Mr. Williams, what say you?
Well, I am Dwayne Williams from a deep rural community by the name of Golden Grove. Very awesome place, quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, born and grow there, and I've been teaching and coaching for the past 15 years also. And I like to chill and relax, and at the same time love coaching, and that's about it for me for now.
It seems like you're prepared for a lot more, but we'll take it. One other thing is, a teacher myself. I also, you know, as a friend would say, when I was young, I did some coaching. I was unable to manage the track and field, so and because of the workload, I think it's a lot of work, from the coach's perspective as it relates to track and field. Very technical, and it needs the capacity of the coach, especially in demonstration. So I take myself out of that category. So much respect to you all. But tell me, Miss Ennis, how did it started for you? How did it start?
All right, for me, it started at Grangeville High School. I used to coach netball. I played netball for all my life.
Wow.
However, Chloe Warner, who is the male coach of Lacovia High School, was the one who motivated me when I got to Lacovia High School to start up a track and field program. But there was none going on at Lacovia High School. Lacovia being my alma mater, I wanted to do something different. Lacovia is known for football. However, there was no track and field going on. And that's where I found fun at the sport and I started to gain some knowledge and I've learned a lot throughout that time. And here I am.
Can imagine. So you played netball, and just because you reach into a new institution, you decided to do something new. I
I
can
wanted
just
my
imagine.
school to grow.
You wanted your school to grow, and certainly they have been growing, and still the sky is the limit. I wish you will as you continue. Mr. Williams, I figured that you have a whole lot in this department. How did it start out for you, sir?
Oh boy, it's a very long story, but I'll try to make it very short.
Yes.
So, as a youngster growing up, I love football and cricket. And throughout high school, I played cricket, captain my junior team, senior team at grade 9, under
Yes.
16, and Edlico cricket. Um, got numerous scholarships to go to other school, but I stayed at Geisel High School. Yeah, I went to Geisel High School. And then I left there and I went to Monique. So when I went to Monique College, I went straight into cricket. First year, got captain of the cricket team, just the same, and continue. Now, when I leave Monique, I went to GC to do my bachelor's, and then you know, I used to talk to this nice girl who used to do track and field. Now, remember, I knew nothing about track and field up to that point. I've never been to the National Stadium. I've never been to champs. Nothing at all. And I'm talking about 2007.
Wow.
Never been. So you know, talking to this girl now, I used to go by the track to watch her train and stuff. And I have this friend, his name is also Williams. I think he is currently coaching Oberlin, I know.
Okay.
And I used to say, oh, try it, man. Can try it, you know. I was look like so boy, I even come on here, so you're at the track. So I say, you know, I go already, man. Me have to keep at me, I go and watch and see what I go on. But anyway, um, after I left GC Foster College now, I then got a job at Carnal High School. Now, when I went to Carnal High School, they had no form of sports going on. So I wanted to do cricket because cricket was my passion. And the only thing they had there was a small, well, it was a netball court. And that was about it, nothing else. So I think at that point I was thinking of, trying with a netball team. And then I said, you know what? Let me give this track and field thing a try. So I went and I had dialogue with the principal at the time, Mrs. Dawes, and she said, yeah, you can try. So I put up a notice, and about 30 students turned up for training. After week 1, I ended up with about 15. And we run around that netball court. So we train around that netball court, and which was probably about 100 meter around, or anywhere between 90 to 100 meter around.
Yes.
That was yeah. So I from there now, I from that 15 that was left, I took 12 to Eastern champs. and I think we scored 38 points and won 3 medals. Can't forget that. And that's where it all started until and the following year, I went to St. Mary because I was working for somebody at the time.
Okay,
And it all started right there.
I can tell you, people. You see how dynamic these two young persons are, and I said young, because I know that I am pretty much older than they are. They probably have more experience in coaching than I have, though. And you can imagine, none of these people said to us that they used to run a 100 meter, a 200, a 400, or 800, netball, and cricket. And now they are actually champion the cause of real coaches in track and field right here in Jamaica. There's a lot they could have said in their early part, but we'll get to that. And I'm really impressed because let me tell you the truth is, let me tell you what I'm saying. I growing up used to believe that the best coaches are the persons who play the game.
Uh,
But I have been, really educated. I've now learned that that's not the case. Too many good football coaches who have never kicked a ball competitively. And look at you now. I laugh, sir, when you mention that, you know, the time when you learned or when you actually reach a national stadium.
yeah, I've
Many
been.
of us,
Mhm.
many of us, and you know, it's no secret that some of us who grew up in rural Jamaica, it took us a while before we reach the big lights, at the national stadium. I'm sure probably Miss Ennis, I'm not sure if she born under the clock or close to the clock, but she probably get that experience before you. But the thing is, I've been following Lacovia High School and St. Mary in recent time, and I watch your performances at different events. Lacovia High School in Eastern Championship has been growing.
Yes.
Western, rather,
Western,
yes,
yeah,
in
Western.
Western. I have some information, and I would like for you, Miss Ennis, to help us here. This year, or should I say the 2023 edition of Western Championship, your girls finished sixth and has 101 points.
Definitely.
Rate your performances of your team at Western Champions this year. I probably, you could give us to say where you coming from. What was it like last year?
All right. Last year, coming from, we finished about eight last year. Finished
Yes,
around eight last year in the girls' side, and we did not go nowhere near 100 points at all. So if I'm going to rate that performance, it would be at least at 80% performance and improvement on the year before, because we have gotten medals in places that we didn't get medals over the years, like long jump, high
wonderful.
jump. It has been a while, even though we have won a medal at champs in high jump before. It has been a while since I've gotten any medal in high jump. So we got a bronze medal in high jump. So that is a great improvement. We still, even though we did not regain our title in the 4x4 female, we still came third because it's a pretty young team with two class three, two class two. It's still a great achievement. So we're still proud, or I am still proud of the performance of the girls.
Very good, very good. Before I get you to Mr. Williams, let me just take a few people in the chat so far. And Tanik Nelson, welcome, welcome to you all as well. Larry Bygrave, yo, me general, me there. Yes, Larry, big up yourself. And Nerisha Marshall, welcome as well. Zoom Cloud, big up yourself, Saudi, Chris, and viewers. I want you to big up Miss Ennis and Mr. Williams too, because they are the ones that will take the show tonight. Definitely not Saudichress. However, let's look now. People, as I said to you, if this is your first time, you must subscribe in order for you to participate, to send your little comments or question in the chat. and please do so. That is very important. I also like the channel or the show itself. So, yes, Miss Ennis, you may mention that you are the female coach, and I suspect that your male team, the men's team at Lacovia, is trying to do their best as well. But when you started with the girls at Lacovia, did you set yourself a target over a period of time to say this is where I would like to reach with these girls?
Definitely I did. But it didn't start out like that. Initially, we used to coach as one. Initially, we used to have the boys and girls coaching together.
Yes.
It's been just since the last 3 years where Chloe Warner coaches the boys and I coach the girls. So it wasn't like that. But for the last 3 years, I've set objectives, and one of the objectives was accomplished last year, where we won our first track medal at champs. As a matter of fact, we didn't even win one; we won two.
Wow.
So it was even more than I expected. I expected to medal, but to win two medals at champs in sprints, that's really a great accomplishment because it's not really easy to go against the quote unquote big schools. As a little school, having an athlete winning two medals at champs, making character team, winning a silver medal, and being a part of the 4x4, it's a great accomplishment. So this year again, I am at it again with some objectives. I am not sure if I should mention them or it will come along, but we have some objectives set for this year for the girls
De-
and also the boys.
Definitely. And of course, we'll be asking you to mention you can't come on here and don't really big up your athletes at all. You're the smaller part of the project, I believe. I think the athletes are the main aspect there. But listening, it's very, very
Likewise.
interesting coming out of Lacova. And we'll get to the point where, those medals, what tallies, what points they tallied you at champs. But we'll get to that in a little while. And definitely we'll look at the man himself now, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, you are
Mhm.
the female coach, right?
Yeah,
Are the coach of the, no, let me not say the
yeah,
female coach. I think
yeah,
that's right. You're the coach of the female team.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm the head coach of the track team itself.
Okay. So you do both males
Yeah.
and females. So you're one of the super coach. I just want to set it straight to them because what I recognize for this year championship, there are a
Mhm.
number of super coaches that coaching boys and girls going into girls and boys championship. I don't know if you recognize that, but you know, I would like to accept and to acknowledge that you are one of those super coaches.
Well, it is pretty difficult, but we try to get the job done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir Williams,
Hmm.
Western champions.
Eastern.
Oh my God, why I keep mixing up Eastern Western? Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Eastern champions. I'll never
Hmm.
make this mistake again for the night. How long have you been winning this championship?
All right. I won the. Let's see. I won it in 20 for the first time in 2014, and 2015 we lost it by a point. By about a point, or probably 6 points. But that year when we lost it, we lose about 10 athletes, quality athletes, and they went away with over 200 points.
Wow.
But we tried. 2016, it did not keep, but we have been winning from 2017 to date. So we won it at 7 times in a row now.
7 times.
In a row, yeah.
Can imagine. You mentioned a while ago that you have lost some athletes.
Mhm.
When you say lost athletes, can you expound on that for me? How do you lost them? To other schools or their time at high school has just evolved?
Yeah. Well, in 2014, those athletes graduated from the school. They would have done their tenure at high school.
Okay.
So yeah, we didn't pretty much lose any to any other school at that time.
At that time.
Yeah, that time.
As you mentioned that, both of you could answer. Do you, how should I put it? Have you experienced those challenges prior to this year where, the so-called bigger schools have come in and, let me use the term, layaway term, take away your champion athletes from your school? Anything like that over the past couple of years?
Oh yeah, they have tried on many occasions and probably success been successful probably about 2 or 3 times.
Miss
So
Miss
For,
Ennis, what about you?
for me, I have only ever lost one male athlete, one. But they have tried, even since recently up to Saturday gone. A coach has tried, but was not successful.
Saturday. I mean, that must have
Saturday,
been
the
a young
latest
athlete.
Saturday. She's pretty young. She's a first year class too.
Okay. I ask this question, because we do understand the dynamic of this thing, because we know we're track and field. And matter of fact, sports in general, what I have seen in the ISA sports these days, it's like really clubs, you know, it's business. So we can't hide away from it. But, if you are not losing athlete at this stage and you're doing so well in your own space, something is going on at in your institutions. Money strong. Mr. Williams, you laugh. Money must
yeah,
strong, man.
and to be honest, it has nothing to do with having strong financial support.
Hmm.
Practically, it is the relationship that we develop with the athletes. You earn the trust of the athletes and the parents, and you have to convince them to believe in the program. And once they believe, they in return will trust you and they will stick by you. And that is something that
True,
I
true.
try to develop over the years with my athletes.
Tell me, Miss Ennis, money strong at Lacovia.
Honestly, it's not money being strong. It's about commitment and having a group of persons who really work along with you. Because to be honest, my former principal, we're currently without a principal, but my former principal, Sir Ricardo Bennett,
Yes.
he has supported the program. We weren't short of anything. And the vice principal currently, she's still holding her own, assistant on whatever needs. We don't have to go on the outside. A lot of times, a few past students, and it's good to have past students have gone. We have past students who have gone, who have coached, and they are giving back and they are supporting the program. A few at least who have left, they are not rich, but they aim from a long, long time ago. I've always said to them, you don't have to give me anything, but just remember where you are coming from. And they are actually giving back to these youngsters.
And I believe you. The commitment is very, very necessary, because the truth is, for any one of you so-called small school in the athletic championship, where high schools are concerned, without commitment, you will just stay right where you are. And so, it's not easy. It's not easy for any small school to just step up, like, for first, second, and third. At least, you need at least 80 plus athletes in order to grow your sport. But back to you, Mr. Williams. 23rd edition of the Eastern Championship. Again, another champion, 447 points. You have been doing this for 7 years. But I'm not too sure. Maybe you can explain to me. Having been the Eastern Championship consistently, were you looking to be in the top five of Girls Championship? The fact that you have been dominating your side of the thing. I'm not seeing you up in the top five. What happened?
All right, that is it is a pretty difficult task
Yes.
because a lot of persons on the outside may be looking to say, boy, St. Mary is doing well over the years at Eastern champs. And when they go to boys and girls champs, we're not seeing them like Eastern champs.
Mhm.
But um, one, we do not have O's in our boarding facilities. I do not recruit out of the parish.
Why is
And
that so?
no, the thing is, well, if we recruit, we don't have anywhere to put them. And we have to bear in mind, that whenever we have our DA sports, the Edwin Allens, the St. Jago, Ormond, Ideal, all of these schools come to the DA sports and recruit the top athletes from the parish. Now, when when all of the top athletes from the parish leaves and go to those schools, it seems as if we are coaching to walk and they are coaching to run. No,
Interesting.
remember now, after they gone all the top athletes, I get the one that's finished like fourth and fifth, and I take them and groom them, and they have been improving and doing well, and they still come after them. Now remember now, these are schools with strong financial support. You understand? So
Yes.
last year at champs we finished 11th,
Yes.
and this year we're looking to break into the top 10. That is the objective for this year, to get in the top 10. So as a country school, we're trying to launch an attack on the top 10, but it is very difficult when you have schools recruiting from all around Jamaica and outside of Jamaica into the Caribbean. So,
Wow.
question now, so do you think the coaching is better at those schools as against the lesser schools? Or is it that they are getting the better talents in the country and around the Caribbean?
That's a good question, and I'll reserve my answer. And the reason I'm gonna reserve my answer here right now, I have a question coming up later on, and remember, I will give you my own view on that very question.
All right, so I have one of the the top class three boy in the country right now,
Right?
over the 800 and 400 there. Yeah, one.
Mhm.
And everybody trying to recruit him. Still have a few girls that persons are trying to recruit.
So let me ask you, Coach Williams, and Mr. Ennis, you could answer as well. Looking on the top school, so to speak, and I'm gonna say it to you right now, based on your top 400, 800 athlete that you just mentioned. You believe based on what you have, the limited resources that you have at St. Mary's and maybe at Lacovia. Tell Jamaica and the world that your program will be able to assist this young man or this young woman to the highest level of track and field.
All right. So now maybe if this young man was at another school or one of those top schools,
Yes.
that this young man will be running much faster. I am pretty sure, because his gym program will probably be probably like for a class one athlete or a class one athlete. because some of these gym programs at least some of these schools for the class one athletes, it's where the professionals are lifting.
Yes.
So I believe in developing the athlete, and I do not force wrap them. It's like when I throw carbine from banana. Yeah,
You're from St. Mary, you know enough.
yeah. So then force wrap the
Yes.
banana. Yeah, but I am not like that. I believe in development. So when you get talent like this, you have to nurture talent.
True.
You cannot force it because you want to win champs at all costs.
Social
No.
dynasty.
And why I say this, if you look right across the board, we have so many superstars that comes out of these schools. And the question is, where are they now? Where are these superstars? The persons who are running for Jamaica are not from some of these big schools. They are not. Where are they? And I think, and this is my belief now, that they're the growth plates are hammered at tender age. So there's no room for improvement because they are way exposed to world-class training from a tender age. So when the body is fully developed and ready for that work, it used it a long time. So it is hard for that athlete to improve.
Okay. All right. Good point. What say you, Miss Ennis? See you
I
shaking
share
your head.
somewhat the same sentiments because I'm being faced with the same challenge now because as you know, one of my best athlete now can run anything from 1 to 4. She'll be good at the 100 meter and also excellent at 2 and 4. I've been getting a lot of calls lately to state that will she be running the 1 and 2 or will she be running the 2 and 4? I believe in development. I'm training this young lady for the future. And if you look on the athletes who actually compete in 2 4, they tend to last way longer than a 1 2 athlete. So I'm not going to push her to the limit where she might just pick up an injury or she will not be one for the future. I am building future athletes. I'm not building champs athletes. So I know maybe if she is at another school, she would have been running 1 2 and be competing for points at champs. But for me, I am for the future and I'll wait and I'll not stunt anybody's growth. I'll wait on her time to blossom. And with me, I am training her for the future.
So you're saying to me you're more for development than
Yes.
actually championship right now. Very good
Yes,
point.
I am not a person where I don't have the quantity to go up for championship, neither Western champs nor national champs. So it's all about more developing an individual or individuals as they come along in the program as we find them. I don't do recruiting. Coaches always call to say, Miss Ennis, you're not coming to the meet. Last championship that they had in St. Elizabeth, I was not there because I had sports day on that day. So I wasn't even there. So what we get is what we work with. So it's actually development.
Very much so. And let me tell you something. Coach Williams, you made a very good point about the number of athletes who shone over the years at boys and girls championship, and they are not representing the country now. Yes, it's a point, but it's also we have to recognize that in life, very few will make it to the top level, especially competitive. It's very a competitive nature. And so when you look at sports in general, even right across the board, the big footballers that you see coming through schoolboy football, they don't represent the country. As soon as they step out of high school, I don't know if it is the talent start to reduce or the level of maturity is not there. Maybe it is a cause of what you mentioned, the forcing of the athletes, pushing them too fast. too quickly. But one of the problem is that I recognize many of our athletes as well over the years will have moved on from high school to colleges and universities overseas. And so that is where the real bright, what would I say now, their chances of making it to the top level has vanished, when they move on to college, because they have to go now less sports and more academics to survive.
No, I don't know if you're following the NCA, but you saw what the St. Lucian did a few weeks back.
Yes, that was
All
interesting.
right, all right. No, that's St. Lucian girl. How many medals did she win at champs?
I am not too sure. Enlighten us.
Up to I think it was in her last year class one, if memory serves me right. Um, did she? I'm still not sure if that girl won a medal at champs.
Which
But,
school did she represent?
Saint Catherine
Okay, for the records. All right.
for the record. And persons used to beat that girl 10 meters. And today, the tables are turned.
Learn.
When it matters most. And bear in mind, these same persons who used to run lever or lever, they are still training today.
Where
So
are
I
they
don't,
training, sir?
yeah? So I don't want you to give me that most persons do because them still are training. A lot of the champs superstars are still training today.
No, I agree with you, Listen, I'm just telling you, especially experiences and persons who I know. Not giving an excuse, because I totally agree with your point. I'm just saying that there's also a flip side to it,
Always.
But the truth is, there are a number of athletes who will say, and students in general, who we call late bloomers sometimes.
Mhm.
Could that be one of that St. Lucia's attribute of a St. Lucian athlete? Could she be a real late bloomer?
Or could it be that she was not exposed to that every training load in high school?
There you go. So again, it is a disparity really. I believe there's a disparity in terms of,
All right. So
leveling the playing field as to schools.
what I find amazing was when a particular class 3 athlete ran 52 seconds female,
Yes.
and 10, 15 years later that athlete is struggling to run that time.
You know, coach, let me ask you this. And both of you I want you to answer. This is a point that we'll have to dig deeper now. Miss Ennis, give me two reasons for that situation. Give me two reasons why that is so, in your own opinion.
One could be that she was pressured at high school. Two, it could be that she was pressured. Two, see if I find a second reason.
All right, no
She was
problem. Get back
pressured
to
because
Williams,
one,
because you have the talk, Mr. Williams. Give me
please
your
God,
two reasons.
yes, what?
All right.
I'm coming back to you, Miss Ennis. I'm coming right back to you. Go on,
All
Mr.
right.
Williams.
So one, the coach would have recognized that this particular athlete is a very talented athlete.
Mhm.
So two, this particular athlete would have surpassed every expectations in training. 3, why not push her a little harder to see how fast she can go? Now, bear in mind, if you find that a 13-year-old or 14, with either 13 or 14 at the time,
Mhm.
run 52 seconds, that means that race, maybe she would have probably won that race probably about by about 60, 70 meters. I don't know. I don't know about the other persons who were in that race at the time. But my point is, if you run that time at age 13 or 14, maybe 15, depends, class 3,
Yes.
depends on what month that athlete would have won. And you at in your mid-20s going 30s, struggling, struggling to run that time. Something something went terribly wrong.
I am going to look on it on a flip side, Miss Sir.
Yes. Go
I'm going to look
ahead.
on it on a flip side. One, she could have been pressured. And another point is that maybe she lost interest. It could have been that that child accomplished too early, lost interest, became or at that point maybe they had nothing working after a time because sometimes we can't even blame the coaches. Sometimes we have to go back to the athletes because at times they will accomplish early and then after that you can't get them to do anything.
Miss
So
Ennis,
maybe something went wrong, as you said, something just went wrong,
You're trying
something
I
to
just.
be, hold
I
on, Sir
beg to
Williams.
differ. Yeah.
Hold on, Mr. Williams. You hold on.
Mhm.
I figure that this response from Miss N is trying to be politically correct. She don't want to blame her colleagues.
Mhm. But
You don't want
No,
to blame your
sometimes
colleagues.
honestly it's the athlete's
But
fault. Sometimes honestly.
I believe though, remember these are kids. Believe it or not. So it's the persons who guide them has to take that lens of responsibilities. That's my view on that part. But Mr. Williams, finish what you're saying.
yeah, but I beg to differ because running that time, running that time at that age, all she would have achieved was a record, and nothing much of monetary value because at that she could not sign a contract or whatever at that age.
Mhm.
No, when it matters most to sign the contract and make the money, that performance could not be repeated.
Wow.
And remember, this was someone who moves from club to club. If if you're if all three of us minds are thinking of the same person, right, Miss Ennis?
Politically.
No, 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 no.
I hold it. Okay.
People, let me tell
No.
you, you
Bear in
listen,
mind, bear in
this.
mind, bear in mind,
Mhm.
bear in mind. No, I am not here bashing any coach. You understand?
No, no, no.
No, we're not
Totally
No.
bashing.
agree.
We're not bashing any coach. But what I'm saying, something went wrong,
Yes.
and it has been going on wrong for too
Long.
long. Even today, it is still going on, and I think we need to look into this because there are some gems out there. There are some gems, and if we destroy them from too young, then the future is going to be very dull.
Right, that's true. So true. I really believe that. Hold your points right there. People, again, I've seen the chat. I was unable to read so early. Remember, we have two guests tonight, so forgive me not reading. And if you notice, I've been actually posting your messages or your thoughts on screen so you could watch. And I'm sure guests you are seeing them too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, good. So, the questions though, I will read. All right, people. I will actually read the question, but the comments and so on, I'll just post them on the chat so everybody can see them. All right. So, again, people, thank you for joining. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, if you want to participate, you need to subscribe. I'm sure that many of you who are watching now have not yet subscribed, people. Please subscribe. I want to hear from you. I want to see your suggestion. And I'm sure you are here to support your coaches, whether it's from East or West. Miss Ennis from Lacovia with Mr. Williams from St. Mary. I see the comments coming in, ladies and gentlemen. So let us continue. In this segment of the discussion, I realized that we end with we sort of close a little last part with a little debate, a little difference in opinion. Let me ask you this question, Miss Dennis. What challenge have you faced in this male dominated job, if there's any?
To be honest, I have not faced if any challenge that I am not intimidated by any male. I have gone to the same institution, just like a male, studied at the GC Foster College, and to be motivated by a male to coach the sport, that is actually a plus. So I am never intimidated or having challenges by any male at all as it relates to coaching in the male dominated sports. So I am not facing any challenges.
Throughout your
I'm
career
more
thus
being
far?
motivated. I'm more being motivated. Yes, I'm more being motivated than face challenges. They do compliment. They do tell me to continue to do whatever I'm doing, because I'm not just a coach. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, and I am a mother. And I live by that statement.
So are you saying never, not one male coach have said to you, hey, this is not your thing. Leave it alone.
No, I've
No
never
form of
faced that challenge by any
discrimination.
coach. If they say it, it must be behind my back or something. Nobody have ever come to me with
And
that.
nobody has ever whispered it to you either.
I've never heard of it.
You held your own.
Yes, I did.
I think based on the job, then, people have to just allow it. Mr. Williams, you really believe her? Nobody at all?
Uh, I think if she was stigmatized or violated, she would have said it
Okay.
because Miss Ennis is pretty
Never.
straightforward.
Is that
She
so?
not yeah she not beat around the bush.
All right. A good thing
Yeah.
about we don't have no bush tonight for you to beat anyway. So, but
Uh,
Mr. Williams, let me throw this question at you right now. The fact is, you were never
mhm.
a track coach. You're never an athlete. Um, but you decided to go the route. What challenges you face? I mean, colleagues who probably know you from then know that this man never put on a spikes, never gone to a track meet. You know, were there any challenge at all you face from
Hold on,
colleagues?
is that
Hello, Sir Williams. Seems like we have lost him for a little while. You still hearing me, Miss Ennis?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Until he comes back, um, let me beg up Miss Mrs. Megan Wilson Copeland. She's here in the house talking about straight talk. No, she's a very hard straight talking woman. She was here a few weeks ago, and I must say, she was the one who recommended you, Miss Miss Ennis, and I have to big up Miss Megan and Seth. I also want to, since Mr. Williams, are you back with us? Well, I'm sure you'll join us. So while you join, let me just take the opportunity of reading a few of the chat as he comes back. So straight talk from Miss. All right, so he's back. Let me put him back in the studio.
It's coming back.
Yes, sir, Williams. Welcome back.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about it. Was it my internet?
It seems so, man.
Okay.
I wonder if you have an internet challenge zone in St. Mary.
Well, not where I live. Not where I live. Not where I live.
You leave
Yeah,
out of the bush now.
yeah. It is pretty much good here.
People don't get me wrong, it's just a little laugh. All right. So I was asking you though, sir, the
Hmm.
fact that you have never an athlete, so to speak, or even following the sports, as a youngster.
Hmm.
But did you face any challenges from colleagues, trying to belittle you or trying to say that, listen, you don't know what you are doing, or this is not your thing, just that sort of thing. We know how we people in Jamaica think sometimes. Just asking.
To be honest, when I went to St. Mary in my second year, I took the little experience from that I got from Colonel with me.
Yes.
And bear in mind, I did not have anyone to tell me to try this or do this or whatever. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of reading, and determination, commitment, and persons used to say to me that, boy, Kadu, you try to work too hard, and man, you need to ease up, you know. But the thing is that now me used to out there every night, because I used to do party promotions.
Oh,
So every night me out there and daytime right through. So little rest and all of these things, but so I was always tired, always tired. But they used to say was take a break, take a break. But to be honest, I've never have anyone, saying to me, boy, leave that alone, or you know. But
okay.
yeah, it has been a smooth, so with a bit of a rockiness, because I have had situations where persons try to set me up, tarnish my reputation, and the list goes on. Yeah,
I know, sir.
but
I that point that you have just made, it's a really serious and unforgiving reality.
yes, man,
It's
yes,
really
man,
unforgiving, and I will say that publicly,
and
people. We need to start
and
respect our teachers and our coaches here in Jamaica. Yes, sir.
and in that during that ordeal, I got my first national call up last year. So me
Wow.
and Miss Ennis, we both work as national junior coach last year for the Jamaica Crafter team. So what I'm seeing, when um back then they would have said, old people would have said, boy, the higher the monkey climb is the more the
More
monkey
battle.
exposed.
Yes.
So I am here putting in the work and reaping my rewards. And there you have persons trying to stop it. They try to block it. They try to destroy you. They try all manner of evil. But
My God.
one thing about me, one thing, I don't really care what people have to say about me. They can say anything, but I know the truth, and I am a person who has a very pure and clean heart. That is me.
Big man, you couldn't say it any better. And I'm telling you, I've had similar experiences and I've known other persons, with those experiences. And it is so sad. It is so sad, people, that many of us tend to look and deal with the negative aspect without even taking the opportunity to look at the realities and what is currently existed. Sir, I ask this question because I know, especially, and I will not hold it down because this is all over the world, and more so in our own little Jamaica. Some of us who believe, or some of us who we believe are our closest friends, our alliance, they are the
Mm-hmm.
ones who tore us down. And I would say to you, sir, regardless of what people want to say, as long as you know where you stand,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have your own goals and objectives. And I can tell you, why is it that, Miss Ellis? You may find it on a lesser extent, if there's any on the female side, but we as males, we were tarnished over and over again. And we have our own daughters. Now, you know where I'm going, right? Why can't we be pure? Why can't we do what we have to do? And I'm not saying this that there are not some cases out there,
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Don't get me
yes.
wrong. I'm not people, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there are not some really negative cases out
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality, when we see our young men doing the hard work and getting the results, we believe it can't be without that.
Mm-hmm.
People, we need to look past that. So, big man, kudos, man. Keep up the good work. And of course, you'll continue. People in the chat, I tell you, I will only read your questions. So just look out. I'm posting all your comments as we go along, right? The coaches are here. They are tired. They left training coming here. The party man, I don't know if he party last night and all of that. So they are tired and we want to get them out of here as soon as possible. So look out, of course, for the chats that we will be posting. So Miss Ennis. Yes, you have your ambition. The complement of your team this year going into the Boys and Girls Championship? How many members do you have on your team? Hello, Miss Ennis?
Uh,
Seems like she's the one
uh,
now take turns with the internet.
mm-hmm.
All right, let me put this one to you until she comes back, Sir
Mm-hmm.
Williams. What's the complement of your team going into the Boys and Girls Championship this year?
My compliment is about 20, between 26, 28.
26,
So,
28.
yeah, so we're taking about 5 to 6 boys and the rest girls.
So, sir, why only five boys?
All right, now most of the boys we have are boys that pass for Saint Mary, and I don't believe if we're going to carry an athlete to the national championships, that athlete should only good enough to run the prelim. You must be able to go to at least the semifinals. And those are the standards that I set as a coach. Because sometimes you take one busload or two busload athletes, and all them do is keep up the rest of athletes at night time, eat all the food, chat, 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 chat. You
Wow.
understand?
Hmm.
So I do believe in quality over quantity. So not because you may or might or you earn the qualification standard to participate at champs, that does not guarantee you going to champs. And I have two unfortunate situations with two of my boys in that one he was well both documentations were sent in. One came from Calabar, and when I sent in his information, they requested a ID number. which I sent about 5 or 6 emails. And when I got that email, the ID number, it was on the Friday before the close off date on the Sunday. So when I sent off the information, I thought that everything would have been fine. So when this section opened up for event selection now, I saw nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and the next one now, he was born in the Cayman Islands, so his birth certificate is different. So I sent in the information, but at the time I did not send it by email. I sent it to the person directly on the WhatsApp number, and was waiting and think everything would have been fine. But I will take the blame for that, because in that case I should have followed up to see if everything was fine.
Okay.
But at the same time, I am just one person, and I do not have like a management team around to deal with. So I have to deal with all the documentation, registration, everything. So sometimes you're here, there, and everywhere. And I am not a person who writes down things and then tick off. And that is what I need to do.
Hold on. Let's take a pit here. So.
Yeah,
That point did not sound right to me, Mr. Williams. In big St. Mary High School, you're
yeah,
saying to me you are the one have to be doing every single aspect of the job.
yeah.
What about the members from the P department?
Ah,
What level of
so
assistance would they get?
we well we get some assistance, but um not not much, because here's the thing now, and you have to understand what I perfectly understand what persons are saying, because no, here is a job. Because in fact, after you're done teaching, anything after teaching was you start a new job. And if persons are not getting paid, they're not going to do it. You understand? Because they have other things they can do to earn money. So why are you going to stay and waste of time? Because in this day and age, the bills are going up, everything is going up, and they need money.
Sir, listen
So
to me, no man. I don't talk. Sir, hold on. I don't talk politics on this show. But the
mhm,
reality is, we all know that we want to earn. And I
mhm.
am sure, sir, that the request that you would have made for assistance is not an every evening or every day thing. For you to do the registration and all of that, are you saying to me that it is very impossible for St. Mary High School to motivate their teachers, more so those from the P department, to assist in that aspect? Or is it a sense that people looking at and said, is Mr. Williams getting the paid?
Jesus. But um what I am trying to do now for next season is getting um past students on board to manage the team, because it is, as I said, it is pretty difficult to man everything. Marketing, I have one, two, three, I have three assistants,
Three assistants.
yeah. But
Okay.
the paperwork is what I do, all the paperwork. Now the HOD of the department now, like for champs now, he's on board for champs. So like when it comes down to Eastern champs and
Mhm.
like to do like get like sort out like the lunch and those
Mhm.
things and whatever. He's the man who comes on board and deal with those things. But like throughout the season, I am the one who all registration, all of these things. So
It's really sad.
it's not a case like some other schools where the coach just coach alone and don't business about anything else. Right, Miss Ennis?
All right.
Well,
Since you called
I
me, send.
second whatever you're saying because honestly, I have to do everything, everything except cook and stay with the girls on that. All paperwork, all management. The only thing I have a male coach who coaches the boys. Other than that, everything. It's all on me.
Sometimes, sometimes I cook all 15, 20 pound of rice in a one pot.
Sir, listen. I am not new to what you're saying, But what I don't understand right now,
Mm-hmm.
in this time and age, I really can't believe that, it's so harsh. It's so hard for you to get that level of assistance. More so. And Miss Ellis, I don't know if I should ask you this question, but if you don't have to answer, if you think it is too much. But as the head of the PE department at Lacovia, you are saying to me you can't get anybody else from that department to assist with the paperwork?
Let me tell you what is currently happening. There were members in my department.
Yes.
Now there is only three. One of my worker, he's also sick with a back injury,
Oh
so
gosh.
he's
Sorry
not
to hear.
able to do that. So I am only left with a female. She does the netball with me, and she's under a lot of stress currently. So it's not that I couldn't have gotten persons to come on board and help, but I don't have the amount of workers in my department to do that. So my parents, thumbs up to my parents at Lacovia High School. Whatever is happening, they come on board, they help out. Track meet days, they will be there. Because let me tell you something, as Mr. Williams said earlier, if you don't have money to pay coaches, they'll find other things to do. And if you are at a school where the money and the resources not there to pay for coaching, at these non-traditional school, the money is not there to pay coach and to run a program. So it's either you're going to sacrifice the program or you're going to sacrifice um, coaches because you can't have it both ways. It is not there.
Honestly speaking, um, I don't know. But really and truly, I think the schools themselves, and I'm saying this, I am not pressuring teachers, people. Trust me, that's not what I am saying. But remember, in my time coaching football, cricket, and a little track and field, and maybe because of the lack of resources, why I end up coaching right across the board. And I was not a part of the PE department. And what I found, there are some other teachers, members of staff who are not PE, but they love the sports and they would rally around to assist. So this is the reason why right now, during my time, I think that was so much of a battle. I think all of those days were gone. People love the sports and giving a day or two. We're not expecting people to come out every evening like you too. More so, you are the one getting the little finances, even though it's spent right back where you are.
Right back.
This why are you shaking your head? You don't get paid to coach at Lacova?
I'll leave that. I'll not say much on that.
Don't worry. I know you get a stipend. That's fine. We don't want to open any can of worms here, But the
No
reality
can
of
of
it is,
worms here.
yeah, the reality of it, yeah, I found it a bit disturbing when, I see people like you just single-handedly doing those things. I think those days were all gone. But
Mm-mm.
you are managing, and kudos to you again. This is the reason why we have you here tonight. This is why the people are here listening to you and watching. You are super, super people. Miss Ellis, before you left us shortly, before not so long ago, the question was posed to you. What's the complement of your team? How many athletes do you have going to the girls and boys
All right,
championships?
currently we have 8 girls going to championship and 6 boys. So that's a 14 athletes
Okay.
going to the championship.
Wow. And you're saying to me, out of Lacovia High School, I suspect that you have a population of maybe 1,000 people. That's where you are. What's your population?
No, more than that. It's
All
more
right.
than that.
And
It's a,
you only could find 14 athletes to take to boys and girls championship.
I did not have 14 athletes at the start of the training session. One time we had athletes up to 16 females and we had 12 males. However, unfortunately, not everybody is qualified, has made the mark to go to champs. I also had targets and objectives that if you're not able to make the Western Champs finals, you will not be able to go to champs, unfortunately.
What if that athlete, for some reason, would have had a qualifying time for champs, but messed up or slipped out of the championship final, the West Championship final? That athlete will not be able to go to
Unfortunately,
champs.
I don't have anybody like that.
I'm just saying, what if, based on
What
your
if
own
then
standards?
I would have wanted to progress throughout the because we have been to many meets. So I would have known if it was just a bad day for that athlete. So I would have still brought that child to chance.
Okay, nice. Because at this comment, I've heard this is the third coach now I'm interviewing. Firstly, Megan, and she made mention of those standards. But I am saying to both of you, and I'm asking you a matter of fact, these athletes that you have been training for so many months, maybe 8 months last year, maybe after chance you start, I don't know. And to date, because they're unable to pass the preliminary round, your standards say you won't take them to championship. Do you think really that is a bit unfortunate? Do you think that's unfair to the athletes?
All right. I wouldn't say it is unfair because for my girls, they are on camp. They go all the way up. I just break camp Friday. I gave them an opportunity. I gave some of them opportunities and opportunities to qualify at the different meets. However, unfortunately, a lot of them they are new. Maybe they have only one training year because about 3 years ago I brought 2 girls to champs. Last year I only had 5. So we
Okay.
had up to 60. And I think because of the whole medal of Sabrina Dakri, where she had motivated a lot to come on board. So it's not a matter of that. I am showing them aware or anything. I still keep dialogue with them. I still have them in a group. I still motivate them. I still do even try to motivate them to even get their passport in case we can get to go to Miami Classics. I still use that as a motivation for my athletes over the years. That's what I use to help to motivate them. I try to get them to at least have their visa. So that's another encouragement for them to go to Miami Classics.
So you're saying to me you will take them to Miami Classics, even though they don't attend boy and girl championship?
Even though the persons who are able to will continue training just the same, and if they can play a part in, well, we are not a rich school. We don't have it to say support everybody, but Mr. Fedlin from Bondon Supermarket, I must give thumbs up to you for always supporting the track program.
Big up yourself, Mr. Man. Yes. Bondong
Mr.
Supermarket, that's what you said.
Harriet,
Mr. Harriet
Santa Cruz,
from
Fedlin
Bondong
Supermarket,
Supermarket.
Mr. Harriet from Bondon
Right.
Supermarket.
Big up yourself and thank you very much. Continue to support Lacovia High School. Sir, you were about to say something based on the question that I asked. Isn't that a bit unfair for the athletes who train for the entire year?
And all right, so the good thing about it is that you as the coach from the onset, you know which athlete will make it to boys and girls champs. So if you notice what is happening now, in recent years, each region has their championship. and St. Mary High won Eastern champs. So those athletes would have won their championship and their season would have ended right there. Because uh,
Wow. You
you're
know why
like,
I laugh, sir? Let me tell you the reason why I laugh. I know that the championship, whether it be Eastern, Western,
yeah.
Central, or Southern, I
Mm-hmm,
know that the championship
mm-hmm,
are a bit different from going into champs.
mm-hmm.
Because to participate at the championship, you don't need times and you just be a member of the
Yes,
school. That's fine, but
yes.
I understand. But I'm putting this especially to you.
Mm-hmm,
A man, a 7-time champion, 7 straight year champion,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
amassing over 400 points.
mm-hmm,
With those, some of those students, some of those athletes as well, who have, I'm sure, have given you some very good, maybe not times there, but good points to
mm-hmm,
help you in that championship.
mm-hmm.
Really and truly is unable, not because of they don't have the qualifying time, but based on your standard, they're unable to go to championship. This is why I'm saying I think it's a bit heavy. It's a bit unfair on the athletes.
All right. So as a coach,
Yes.
from day one, you have to make the athlete understand and know that your competitor is doing this time and that time. Now, if you come to training and you fool around and do not do what you're supposed to do and think that you are going to be rewarded for going to by going to champs, it is not that easy. No, the thing is that sometimes, I as the coach have to make some decisions. Whether is it that we're going to make the school spend X amount of money, or am I going to save the school some money? No, our budget for boys and girls champs is rough, almost 900,000.
Monkey money that.
No more, and just a couple of days, and I'm talking about just 28 athletes. You understand? So
Wow, I can
no,
tell
it
you.
is monkey money compared to other schools.
You're right.
Yeah.
So right, so
So
right.
remember, we do not have a system where um the the past students of our schools are pumping money in the program. We don't have that as yet. So it is mostly the school is doing the spending, which is taking a toll on the budget. So I can't go to the boss and say, I have I have I have 50 athletes to go to boys and girls champs. And wow, Mr. Williams, that's a pretty big team. How far can we go? And miss, we just carry them to give them a one run. We can't go to the boss until like that. So it's kind of like a joke thing, not joke.
Depends.
Hmm?
You could coin it a different way.
Yeah, I could, but
Because
um,
exposure, especially the young athletes who you will have
yeah,
next year, who will be better next year. It
mhm.
is good for that exposure. Remember your own self,
Yeah,
so never
that's
see the
why I know.
national stadium until you start coaching.
Yes, so that's why I am sticking with my class four. So I'll take all my class four athletes to champs.
Okay, nice. Good.
Yeah. Now, come next year, come next year, if the attitude change, then they are a few might not go next year.
Okay.
So the onus is on them to continue to work and once they work and do what they are told, then there's no problem in going to champs. But we here know that there are some athletes who would they just can't move from here from like a Western champs or Eastern champs to boys and girls champs. We know that. And some of the hardest workers they find in training are the ones with the least amount of talent. The talented ones don't like to do hard work.
I believe.
Yes, sometimes sometimes I say it all the while. I would love to take your talent and give this person and give this person. Mm. So I have to protect the school pocket at the same time because funding is hard to come by. When we win, though, we have persons who come in and assist. So we have to keep winning because
People love winners.
people love winners,
People love
and
winners.
we all are wagonists. So one if the bandwagon is doing well, if people are going up on. And every year things has been getting it has been getting better.
So there's something I will say now. May sound a bit controversial, but listen me. That statement you say you want to protect the school's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It is good, but I don't think you are to protect the school's pocket in the interest of the students. Let the students eat out the school pocket, man. I think the students are the ones supposed to eat out the school pocket. Without the students, you wouldn't have any school.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it is going to limit the team from going to other places.
Okay, all right. You have
So
that.
look at this. If all right, say I have a team of 80,
Mhm.
and if I take 80 students out every week for track meet, more likely we cannot afford to go to boys and girls champs because that 80 students are going to need probably about 3 coaster. So instead of using 3 coaster every week, I use 1 coaster, sometimes with a small bus, but mostly one. So I rotate every other week. You understand?
Okay.
So that we keep these persons probably not running every week, but you get to run every other week.
All right. Good. So you may mention that you're both of you targeting a position.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what is your expectation for your team this year at Boys and Girls Championship?
Well, as
Also,
a, uh-huh.
and to go further,
Uh-huh.
the Miami Classics and the what you call it? I get that down in Pennsylvania.
Pen release.
What's that track meet? Pen
Pen release.
release.
Uh-huh.
10 years.
Are
All
you
right.
looking
So
forward to pen release? Give me your expectations for the rest of the season.
all right. So for the rest of the season, as I said earlier, the aim is to go a step further. We and break into the top 10 on the girls side at boys and girls champs.
Okay.
On the boys side, we we will score some points, but I cannot give you a position. However, we will have some good performances from like Dwayne Williams in the high jump, and we have Rashid Grant's class 3, 800, 400. So we are banking on these athletes to score heavy in these events, and for the girls, top 10, and we should make quite a few finals this year. Hopefully, all being well. Even though we for the last five five from last week Wednesday we don't do a proper training session because of the inclement weather.
Okay.
So yeah, the weather has been very mean to us. Even though I really don't mind because we majority of the season the field has a lot of cracks, so we can't. So I don't mind the rain, but it is terrible. I've never seen it in this condition before. Never seen it in this condition
My
before.
God.
Yeah,
Drought condition.
yeah. It is terrible, really terrible. And the soil is clay, so so once it crack, huge cracks. Yeah,
Very terrible.
so it has been affecting us significantly. And we are putting a team for pen relays. So hopefully we can represent the parish of St. Mary and Jamaica at large at the pen relays. And we have been there before, but not under my regime.
Watch.
Yeah, but we are open to go for the first time under my watch this year.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Miss Ennis, what's your expectations for the rest of the season?
All right, my expectation as it relates to champs. For the class 2, 400 and 200,
Mhm.
I'm hopeful and she's confident that she will win the 200 and the 400 in class 2. That's Sabrina Dockery. I'm also hoping to make a few semifinals because the team is pretty young. The girls, I don't even have a class 1 girl. That's how young the team is. So they range from
Okay.
class 2 all the way back to class 4. On the male side, the coach is expecting Jermaine Campbell to be in the long jump finals and to also have some boys, because there are only 6 boys, hoping to have some semifinalists and also to have some personal best. Because, as I said before, the team is young. A lot of them are inexperienced, going to gain some experience. And for Miami Classics, we have been going there from 2012. Since COVID, we have not been there. But we are hopeful that this year we can get some students going to Miami Classics this year. And also to have a few students still training for NACA and the national program, junior program. So I will not stop at champs. We continue training for them to try and make the junior team. I've tried that character. Unfortunately, she's 16, running under 20. So she came third in the 200. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But when you have a 16-year-old coming third in under 20 200, that's really a good accomplishment.
I would like to say I hope she keep healthy and fit because that sounds impressive. That really sounds impressive. And I just want to say this. I really and truly, as I said, I'm posting the messages or the thoughts from the chat. I really wanted to read the questions. And people, if you notice, you can call if you want to participate. If you think you don't want to say much, you could call. The numbers are running at the lower end of the screen. But let me big up the Ennis family. I've seen a number of Ennis um, making
Yeah,
comments there. And I think I've seen a few coming from St. Mary. Big up Mr. Williams as well. Not seen Williams per se. If I missed, please call or repost. But big up the Ennis family. Big support, big support. And again, people, just a few of you really participate in the chat comparing to the number of persons here. is it a situation that you have not yet subscribed? If you don't subscribe, you will not be able to post anything in the chat. And again, thank you. Like the chat as well. I'm sure that these two bright, young, sparking track and field coaches have been taking Jamaica's young athletes by storm. They are doing very well. Listen, and I'm sure that you have your own comments. All right. So
And
pick up yourself, all the Ennis family. Yes, sir, Williams.
and if I may add, in 20, 2019, I I had a class 4 relay team that ran 48.05 at the Gibson Markup relays in the Eats, fastest time that year in the country.
Wow.
And 2020, well, they went to the final at Boys and Girls Champs and choke. Just like how they choke in the finals of the Gibson, because that time was running the Eats.
Oh my God.
Now, that team was my super team. And in 2020, when we planned to reap what we missed out on in the previous year, COVID came.
My God.
And then,
Credit COVID.
interestingly, from that super team, only one athlete from that team is training today. Only one.
You see, sir, you mentioned about choking, and I'm not sure after you did your postmortem what could have caused, such a unfortunate situation. But it do happen, and people must understand. I've seen the best athletes choke at some point. I also, especially don't even start the race, or you want to call it a false start. But we do understand, and people, I want you to continue to encourage the athletes, encourage the coaches. You listen to the coaches, the pressure that they have to endure in order to develop or to help in the development of these young minds. It's very, very important, and I continue to champion the cause. Whatever you can do, parents, teachers, community members, it's very important that we help. It's not just the schools that are winning the championship. Not just those students are important. It's one Jamaica. And at the end of this, these two coaches, they actually met at a national champion, not a championship, but a national job. I mean, they go along with the character team. So they're not just looking at Lacovia and St. Mary as it relates to national teams. They have to deal with all the athletes that they came in contact with. So they're not just coaches in East and East West, but right across the board. So it's important that all of us help in whatever way we can. All right? So I see Miss Ennis laughing after comments posting, and she's reading. So people, you can see her face, when the fun the comments are post. All right, good, good, good. So
So
as we continue, there's a question coming up that I will read. And just before you continue, sir, let me just get that one. I've seen it. So I'm gonna read this one. Um, was this the question? Some schools lack funding to have the athletes fully prepared for champs, and so sports in general is not priority, and the focus is on academics at all costs. All right, that's from Roma Francis. I think Roma had a question. Let me see where it is. All right, missed it. All right, but if I missed your question, please post again, and
now I'm
definitely I'll
looking
get it.
I'm looking at the question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, why is it that the athletes perform so well at Eastern champs, and when they participate in boys and girls champs, not much is heard of them?
Okay.
So
So I guess that one is going straight to you, sir.
yeah. So
Go ahead.
um Miss Francis, at boys and girls champs, it is the best of the best in the country. So, as I said earlier, you have some schools that recruit the best talent right across Jamaica and the Caribbean. Now, the athletes at St. Mary High is from within the parish of St. Mary, and probably you'd have one or two on bordering parishes. Now, we are competing against the best. One, we do not have a gym at our school. That's a and the gym is very important. We, yeah, so when we go to the national championships, and you know the top schools, I don't have to call names. We are competing against big sponsorship, gym, feeder program. We're also competing against top supplements and well paid and motivated coaches. And look at this again. We are also, this is very important now, we are also competing against teams that who sometimes trains up to 5 hours per day. On any given day, my longest training session will last for a maximum of 2 hours. Most times it lasts for an hour and a half on short days because we do not have dormitories. So a lot of the athletes live good distances from the schools. So we actually have to let them off in reasonable time in order for them to reach home. So when we go to champs, my friend, last year I said we finished 9th. And if we can finish, not 9th, sorry, 11th out of 100 odd school, that is very respectable. And I think we would have to be doing something to be at 11th. Remember, a few years back, we were coming from 30 and 20, and we reached 11th position now. And hoping to break into the top 10 this season. So I understand your concerns, and I think, you know, it is very unfortunate for persons to be comparing us with schools with such facilities. But I know that supporters have high expectations of their alma maters, programs that are doing well. Because remember now, the eastern section of Jamaica is like the feeder program for most of these top schools. Yeah. So what I am trying to retain the best athletes in the parish, but I am still not getting the best athletes in the parish.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. I just want to see how that comes. You have data to back that argument in terms of Eastern being probably them.
Where are the Clayton twins from?
I heard it's Westmoreland.
St. Thomas. No, St. Thomas.
Westmoreland. Isn't Westmoreland?
No, St. Thomas.
No.
Miss Ennis. Westmoreland.
I don't think it's St. Thomas. I think it's Westmoreland.
They participated in Western Champs before?
No, they didn't come to Western Champs.
They wouldn't. Based on the time they would have actually transitioned, I don't think they would
I
have
think they're from
participated.
West.
They're from the West.
All right. So
No,
let us
they
So
go.
went straight to
let
Edwin
Miss
after
Ennis
primary
post on
school.
Hold
that
on.
one.
Huh? Hold on. Let us go to Kevona Davis. Let us go to Joan Reed, Christiana Williams, Monique Spencer, um, Tiana Lee Terry Long, um, Terry Long, Makanoff, um, Makanoff. Who is from that side? From this side, St. Thomas. I don't remember all of it, but all I call 6 names,
Hmm. And they are from the
and
East.
all 6 names are from the East, and these are serial winners at Boys and Girls Championship. Serial winners.
Is it that because the schools in the West are not so, what would I say now?
Yes.
They don't have the capacity to guide these athletes. As he said, Mary is stepping up to the plate,
Hmm.
which you deserve, at least two slices from that cake right now, Mr. Williams. But look at it. Look at the
Yeah.
schools to which they're coming from, or the area, so to speak.
Hmm.
And I'm sure, sir, put that aside. We know the recruitment process.
Hmm.
And as a parent, if you look at it as a parent side, or you take away a coach, if you have your daughter or your son, which, to your own view, this child has the potential to move on. And you get an opportunity to represent one of those top schools, the Edunalin, the Hydels, the Jagos, the Vera, the Homans, comparing to a Lacovia. Which one of these schools would you more likely to lean towards?
All right. From the outside, you from looking from the outside, you'd have to choose one of those. However, if you
Hmm.
are if you are a parent that is thinking about your child's health,
Mhm.
your child's ability, talent, and most importantly, development,
Yes.
you'd have to think twice, because you as the parent would know, have to do a research, do a background check on how many persons from this institution have transitioned from here to there, or like from a junior to the senior level. So if I am a parent and I am thinking long term and not just champs term, I would have to look into that deeply.
But I'm sure they do. And it has been
No, no, no,
also,
no, 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 no. I beg to differ. I
you beg
think,
to differ. All right.
yeah, I
No,
think,
Me
listen.
too.
yeah,
If
I
you are
think,
differ, if you
yeah,
are differing,
mm-hmm,
and I'm just gonna use one school name for argument's sake.
yeah,
And if you're talking about from junior to senior in terms of transition, and we're
mm-hmm,
talking about student athletes now,
yeah,
they might not necessarily move and represent Jamaica at the senior level,
mm-hmm,
but they have made something out of their sport, out of their skill, their ability, and get
mm-hmm,
an opportunity to
mm-hmm,
go further their education.
mm-hmm,
So that's one big thing that I would say. Not to say it couldn't happen down in the east, That's not what I am saying.
mm-hmm,
But putting on, and based on the question that I ask you to choose from the school,
mm-hmm,
and let me use Edunalin. I can call Edunalin name upon anything.
mm-hmm,
I must say to you as well that I'm a Edunalin past student.
mm-hmm,
So let me call Edunalin.
mm-hmm,
Them can't beat me up down a Edunalin for anything me say.
yeah,
Those athletes, and I can say majority of the athletes that represented and do well at Edunalin
mm-hmm,
has moved on successfully.
mm-hmm.
That's why I can say Edunalin. I can't call other school names, but that thing I'm sure because
All
I
right,
have done some tracking.
all right,
So I'm
Mike.
just saying,
Yeah.
Your point that you are saying, and you want to differ from what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. But the point I'm looking at, and we're coming from this fact that we mentioned, development of athletes or
Mm-hmm.
development of the child. That's a great achievement. Give me your piece.
If I may stick up in,
No
why is
problem.
it for the last year, the quote unquote big, I'm not calling any school name, but I have witnessed about 7 or 8 students who have come back to Lacovia High School from those quote unquote big name schools who have left, that they are athletes and they got scholarships and they are now back at Lacovia High School.
You can tell me. You can call it a name. May I give you permission?
I'm not calling any school name. I'm just telling you three prominent. My vice principal has been recently declining from accepting them.
No, and I
They are
understand
coming back.
you.
I currently even have 2 on my team. One
Mhm.
that will be going to chance this year. She has never represented that quote unquote big name school, but she's going to chance for Little Lacovia.
Why she never
She has
represent the big name school?
never, she was running 800 and 1500 at that big name school. She's running sprints for me this year.
Now I'm asking you, why is it that you think she never represent the big name school?
She told me that they had her on a middle distance program and she was blossoming in that area. So her mother decided that she wanted her to come back because she wanted her to come to Lacovia at the initial stage. But I wasn't around when she had tried to get her into Lacovia because she
Okay.
had a sister who came to Lacovia and did athletics.
Uh,
That little girl now, she lost to Western champs 100 meter on the line. She ran 12:12 already, coming from a 8 and 1500 program. So can you explain? And I also have some other girls
I
who
maybe
have been to those prominent schools
I
and they are
maybe
now
can.
begging.
And I know, and I understand that, because there's a school of thought. Maybe, and just maybe, you see, I'm just telling you to call Edunal name, I'm not sure which, but just say that because my Edunalin
I
past
am not
student,
calling any
and
Edwin
we
Allen
can say
name.
anything about Edunalin, because them not gonna beat me. They can't beat me by the way.
all right.
But hold on, sir, hold on.
Yeah.
I am just saying that to say, could it be a fact that in the coach's mind at that big name school, this child is unable to make it in the sprint based on the other athletes. Just like it,
Mhm.
because you have even made mention that if a child is unable or if an athlete is unable to reach at a mark at certain time, you will not take that child to championship.
Mhm.
So maybe because of the competition and this team or this school maybe have a weaker point in 800 or 15. They figure that let's try this one. So I do understand if the child is not making progress at a particular school, I strongly believe if there's another opportunity at school B, we should give that child the opportunity. You see where it's coming from? It's coming from big
So I
name now
promise
to
you
a
a
small
place in
name.
my school, not a run on my team.
Hold on, no, man. From a big name to a smaller name. It's okay. But it's not so okay from a small name to a big name.
You know what? Funny enough,
Hmm.
Funny enough. Two boys.
Yes.
Um, one I used to have this tall boy, walking around the school, and I invite him to training. So I told him that I was going to teach him to do high jump. Going through the background training and thing. He said, "I wonder if this boy look we run, man." I'm say, "Boy, me try him on the 800." And try him on the 800, and you know that he was first year three, so the next year is class three again. The following year, he made the champs final in 800. Class two,
Hmm.
he did the same, and class two again, he did the same. And there was this boy again, same way, and him, um, just a bit of bad blood and between me and him. Now, here's this boy now, turn big man now, because serial winner Eastern champs. Man, yeah, man, serial winner Eastern champs, man.
A
And
mantra step out.
yeah, and finalists are boys and girls champs 3 year in a row. So evening time now, the boss just a walk past, go through gate with the girl and come at training when they want to come at training. So I say, all right, just watch him and me not say anything. When it come close to boys and girls champs now, them start come every day.
Yes.
You know? Little did he know. Little did he know. And this was one of my best athletes at the time, that when the boss was driving out of the schoolyard to Kingston for boys and girls champs for the week, he was going to be left
Yes.
on the school compound. So I don't know if it is the same girl help him carry back him back them through the gate. But him never go on the bus. And he went to a school in Kingston. And yeah, he then left and went to a school in Kingston. And he only ran for that school at track meets. The next one left year before last, made the 800 final in class 3, also made it in class 2. Leave last year because of indiscipline. Went to another school oversaw. And not even, you know. I said not
School from
even,
Overstock.
yeah. The man leave my program, around 1:59.
Mhm.
And the last race I saw him running, he struggled in class 1 now, second year class 1 to run 209.
Wow.
Struggle to run 209. Big and thick on me. I couldn't believe.
How him feed pan?
Me not
Is it
know.
program?
I
The
don't know.
weights?
I do not know. But so what I'm saying is that not all things that glitter are gold.
True.
One leave, I went to a school in Kingston and spent 2 years there. And he never run faster over there until he came back to me for one more year in his final year. And I took him, and when he came, he PB, nice time, get a scholarship and then gone. So the thing is, when you're in a small program and the coach will spend more time with you. It is more detailed. But when you go into a program where there's a lot of superstar, you're gonna last.
Yes.
Perfectly so. That's
You're
true.
gonna
Yes.
last.
And let me tell you, Sir Williams, Miss Ennis, I am a strong advocate of athletes, students, stay within their program at their small school and develop. I am always for that. And when you hear me speak, sir, I have no intention, as much as Edwin is my past student, I would never, ever encourage a student to leave a particular program to go to Edwin. I must say, though, if I have seen persons from school B who have no interest in going through to girls and boys championship and so on, maybe once that is an athlete, I will encourage the athlete and the parents. Say, look, that's a point out. Not just Edwin, because I've done it from many different schools. The point I'm saying here, coaches, there comes a time that we must see where we can either get that child to transition from A to B or from 1 to 5, instead of having that child just being at 2 or 3. But there's an opportunity. And as you say, there are students who move from small schools and go into the big program, them last. The competitive natures, the
Mhm.
competition that are there, you know. And I just want to read this question, and I see something coming up that seems like me put myself in big trouble here. But Roma Francis asking the questions: Can't the school seek assistance from the Past Students Association, if there is one, and sponsorship from business places within the parish? That's the question coming from Miss Roma Francis. Have you done that, Mr. Williams?
All right, so we have sent letters to persons seeking assistance. We have reached out to past students, and past students have jumped on board,
Mhm.
and which we are very grateful for that. But we want something that is sustainable. We want something in place that we know it is always there. No, because when you know that you are comfortable and at peace, then that is when you can get the best out of the athletes, because the athletes are getting have good trainers on their foot. The athletes are getting regular massage done, because most of them massaging, Um, so many times I find myself doing most of the massaging, and yes, so
Uh,
you understand. So it is rough.
Real
So
super coach or coaches.
yeah,
This
it
the
rough.
the term head cook and bottle washer. I'm telling you. But let me read this one. And uh, if there's any um confusion or controversial or any inconvenience my statements have caused by actually mentioning my own school name, I do apologize. But just for the show, because I don't think anything is wrong with calling any school name. We are not being battering. But Ronald White, listen to this. Listen to this. And I'm going to highlight this. And I like to put this out. But this is what Ronald White is saying. Sorry, a little misunderstanding did go on between Miss Ennis and myself. But after explaining to her, she understand and all is well. Sorry, she's a serious little lady. Don't mess with her. Talk to us about that, Miss Ennis. Talk to us
Oh,
about that.
Jesus.
I'm not
Oh
sure what
my
Ray is
God,
getting
I
at.
didn't expect this one.
So you,
I am
you're
not
Ray.
sure I want to go into that. But I
You
know
may
what
not.
he's talking about.
Yes, that's
I
fine.
know
That's
what he's
fine.
talking about, and your apology is accepted.
Okay, all
I
right.
know what
So
he's
Ray,
talking about.
I hope that has nothing to do with the show. I'm just saying, this is what it's all about. It's all about education, entertainment, and sports. That's what happened on the Saudichress Show, ladies and gentlemen. So I understand. So Ray, thank you very much for that apology. And as a man, you have to apologize.
That's okay.
Mr. Williams, we can understand on the Saudichress Show. The man apologize and
Yeah,
send
man.
it out right out.
Right out,
Respect,
man.
boss. Respect, respect, respect. All right. So this is I'm telling you on the Sadiq Crest Show. Nowhere else will you find these people. Please continue to like the show. And I still convinced that there are a number of you right here, right now, who have not yet subscribed to the Sadiq Crest Show. I must say this just to share with you. I am just 695 subscribers. Could we make the 700 by the end of the show, people? I am sure. Miss Ennis and Mr. Williams, have you subscribed already? So
No,
we have two more to go.
yeah.
Very good. All right. So people, we are with Miss Ennis and Mr. Williams. Very interesting show. And this person, as what Ray said, don't mess with her. Miss, I won't mess with you any at all. I will support you. That's what we are here for. Ray is a dangerous youth. Ray is a dangerous youth. But we're coming today. the end of the show. We have gone 2 hours. Can you believe it? Two
Yeah,
hours of interesting stories and so on.
I didn't know
No,
that.
you didn't know that.
Didn't know
Right?
that. Yeah, I actually have 2 hours tonight.
Look at Miss Ennis eyes. I'm so sorry that I
Yeah.
have you so long. But guess what? I won't keep you much longer. Just two more questions. I want you, sir, and Miss. I'll take the lady first.
Mhm.
I want it means you have a small team. And I don't know if you call any names. It would be any disappointed or so on to anybody else. But it is only fair. Highlight your top athletes for me. Let Jamaica know who are the athletes from Lacovia that we should be looking forward to at Girls and Boys Championship. Me say this.
All right, for Lacovia High School, our top female athlete is Sabrina Dockery. Can't take anything away from her. She has put Lacovia on a different scene, a different level. She was the first athlete who made the national program. So you cannot take. Last year she won 7 medals, three at Western Champs, two at Carifta, and two at national champs. Also, I have seen her at Western Champs winning the 200 and the 400 meter in first year class too. I'm also going to give credit to Tishana McDowell, who is coming from another school, who have who did she was placed second in class 3 100 meter. Also, I'm going to give credit to Bernice Nelson, coming from another school too. I am going to put her, she's coming back. She used to do 70-meter hurdling class 4, but she's now doing the 4 hurdles. So those are my three top girls. And for the boys' side now, I am going to give the hats off to Dermian Campbell, last year class 1. He's a long jumper. He's the top male athlete, if I should say. We also have Roshan Smith coming from 11.3, coming down to 10.69. Big up to the coach, Coach Warner, for taking those boys sub 11 in a season. So those are really the top athletes for Lacovia. No.
Thank you very much. And I must say, big up to Sabrina. I've seen her in the chat earlier and didn't even realize that she's there. So she's here online. She's with us. So Sabrina, again, big up yourself. You are the standard bearer this year for Lacovia. A matter of fact, you have started some time ago. Continue. I wish you stay well and healthy and all the best in your endeavors. I'm looking forward to see you on the medal podium for Lacovia this year's Girls and Boys Championship. Big up yourself, Sabrina. So that's it for you, miss. All right. So thank you very much, Miss Ennis. And athletes, Lacovia High School, the entire St. Elizabeth, Black River, please go out and support. I know, the support has to share among the schools from the West, but, for now, let's take it. Continue to cheer on these athletes. And I have something to say after I get this comment from Mr. Williams. Your athlete, sir. Give us the athletes that we should be looking forward to from St. Mary High at this year's championship.
Well, our flag bearer for the last couple of years have been Sean Walters, and she's an outgoing senior, and you know she's in good shape. So hopefully she can continue to do us proud
Sabrina?
on the uh, the big scene. And we have the likes of Shante Price, who has been consistently getting into finals, and she's in good shape this year. Just have to go out and execute. And we have in class 2 we have Shaggy Shepi, who has improved significantly this year, and all being well, she should be in the Class 2 final. Tiana Rooms, she made the Class 3 final last year, but has been struggling with hamstring injury. So, she's coming back, but I doubt she will be in that shape to make it to the finals. But let's see what happens. And Class 3 have Kalisha Bell, who has been running, fast and improving this year. So it is good, and we have a Class 2 relay team that should make the final. We finished third at the Gibson relays. So, and I just want to make mention to of Glacian, who made the Carifta team 2019, but gained a lot of weight 2020, 2021, and has shown significant improvement this season. With her fight against her weight, because that the COVID-19 was very damaging to a lot of athletes, a lot of persons, a lot of teams, and on the boys' side, we have Rashid Grant, who is our top boy, you know in the program right now, along with um, Captain Dwayne Williams, who has been jumping relatively well this season. Hopefully, he can make the top three at the boys and girls champs this year. And we have Michael Walters, who last year jumped over 7 meter, but struggled this season with injuries. So sometimes we have nice athletes with athletes with a lot of potential to do some damage, and something happened, and when they reach that stage, they underperform. But a person's on the outside do not know what is happening on the inside, and the comments would be, "Boy, the coach this and the coach that." Now, I would love for you or for those persons on the outside talking to come and see what we have to work with at St. Mary. The feel alone will be a big turnoff for many, many. Believe me. I literally have to take a fork to school and shovel and get a barrow to and dig a lot of dirt to patch some hole and all of these things. So sometimes, we make bread out of stone. But
Sir.
a lot
All right,
of,
continue, continue.
a lot of persons don't know or understand the circumstances under which we operate on a daily basis. And if I say to you that I am happy that the rain is falling now, you can be the judge of that. Which coach will be happy that the rain is falling now at this point in the season?
You can
Because
imagine that.
I have nowhere to go. The cracks are so huge right now that it is almost impossible to do a full sprint on the field. Almost impossible. So with the rain now, the rain is slowly but surely bringing them back together. And I
Wow.
just want to put this out that when I went to St. Mary, the field was 8 lanes, could easily drown on the field. And now it keeps on, the land keep on slipping, 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 slipping. Now we only can get a maximum of 4 lanes on the same field.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. Hold a minute. You're saying to me or
Mm.
to Jamaica that St. Mary High School based on the number of lanes you started out with,
Mm-hmm.
you're halfway now with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that has given rise to land slippage.
Land slippage. Yeah.
That is the nature of the field that you train in.
Mm-hmm. And for years now, we're seeking help, sponsorship to assist with a retaining wall. But it seems as if our calling is not being echoed loud enough for um, probably corporate Jamaica or other companies, financial institution, or whichever to come on board and to assist.
Let me ask you a question, Sir Williams. Is that field being used by the community at large or just by the school?
The community, the neighboring community is they call it Capchalan. So every day, the kids from the area come, whether it's rain or sun, and play on the field. Sometimes I plead to them not to play the ball where we train on the track. When we leave tomorrow, when we come, everywhere dig up,
Sir,
everywhere dig up.
I will say to you that through you to your principal, you probably need to put a team together to do a serious proposal and copy that through to the Ministry of Education, SDC, SDF, Chase Fund, all of those things. Take your pictures, your videos, highlight it. I will help you to champion that cause. So send me some videos. Because at the end of the day, with this development program at St. Mary High School, ladies and gentlemen, and we are hearing now that 50% of that field has been eroded. Slippage. At a school, no child should be actually using that facility. It is a dangerous thing, and I must say to you, the Ministry of Education, through your regional, need to get on top of this thing. That's my say on the field right now, and I thank you, sir. Sir, we continue to communicate. I will champion the cause because this is frightening, especially with what you have and you're producing these talents. You're harnessing the talents, getting the results.
I don't know if you can see this. Where it is? Hold on. Let me just show you a little thing on my phone here. There you go.
Yes, we are seeing a part of it. Yes, that's your track. I can see the lines.
Yeah, that's my track, yeah.
That looks like a aerial view from a cricket pitch.
All right. That is the track.
My God. People, can you see that? For the powers that be, no, sir. Unfortunate. I don't want to call this, you know what? Let
That's
me
why
hold that.
that's why I am plagued with a lot of
Injuries.
injuries, yeah. And as I said, persons on the outside, sometimes me watching a few St. Mary athletes and say, boy, this athlete good look good and this and whatever. But one of those cracks sometimes can be very damaging,
I agree.
and the uneven surface sometimes, may cause um a little tweak in the groin, a little pinch in the hamstring, because sometimes the try move too fast and all of these things. So it is what it is. But I well, I'm not going to say I, because I have my assistants. So we try to make it work.
My God.
Yeah, we
You
try
know,
to make it work.
I have a little joke. It just came to my mind when I was growing up and we just started playing serious football in school. have a teammate who couldn't play in football boots. When you put him in boots, he feels like puss walking in boots. And give him that ball to kick barefoot. You can't stop it. But just saying that to say, your athlete, sir, has trained on that track and is
Mm-hmm.
able to perform on the real deal. No man, you deserve more than a clap. People, trust me. Sir, I'm gonna help you. We need to champion that cause. I don't know St. Mary High School, but it is Jamaica. And it's really and truly for
Um,
the powers that be that should not have happened.
we have um we have sent letters to even the SDF, and they they came by the school about 2 weeks ago, um wanting to help with a gym or a renovation to help with some like boarding thing like. And I think the field was a part of it. When they went and saw the field, they said, um,
Can't move.
they can't move. They don't have any money to look at anything like this.
You see, sir, that's why I'm saying, you see, those letters that you have written or you wrote before, you need to put them to a proposal. You need to get a team. Propose, write a real proposal. And it is a big cause in schools right now, proposal writing. Because there are entities that I am told that will assist with different aspects of school life. But proposal is what they want. And the fact of the matter, I want to say this, it is a disgrace that we should have had persons trying to assist. There are politicians, there are MPs, there are counselors, there are activists, there are a lot of NGOs out there. We need to do something. And maybe there are others like that. But for now, let us focus on St. Mary High School. We need to see some help. The horse have gone through the gate as it relates to this year's competitions. But there's always a future for our little ones. Not just for Mr. Williams. I'm sure right now, a good feel at St. Mary High will also benefit Miss Ennis from Lacovia because they are a part of the national setup. So the very same athletes will transition. People, it's very important. And I'm sure that this information cannot go unnoticed. Cannot go unnoticed. I have one last question to you. But before you do, just for a little advertisement and just to ask those persons who have not yet subscribed, do so. Help me to reach the 700 mark, people. Just five to go. You're on the show. Give me your subscription. I beg of you. I do appreciate all of it. But I just want to, for the champion of another institution, we just want to share, a little bingo. Garvey Massey High School Alliance Zoom bingo. Bingo fundraiser March 26th at 6 p.m. People on the show, listen. You could join the Zoom bingo. It's very, very important that you support these things. As I said before, we're not just talking about our own alma mater, people. We have to look at the entire Jamaica. The entire Jamaica. And so, if you can assist, by participating in the bingo, it's a very nice and interesting game. Zoom bingo. If you have never done so, join. If you want to participate, you contact Shampy at 876-872-1522. That's from Jamaica. We also have another Jamaican, Gary, 876-399-9151. He's also from Jamaica, people. Jervis out of Canada. If you are in Canada, please link Jervis for your ticket. Just $20 for a set of four. 416-566-0060. And that's Jervis out of Canada. From New York City, the man they call Thomas, 917-657-2094. And the man who really managed this thing, of course, Mr. Lee out of Connecticut, 203-676-6230. That's Mr. Lee, the man who managed this bingo for the Garvey Massey High School Alliance. Zoom bingo people, bingo fundraiser, please. $20 for a set of four. March 26th at 6 p.m. And of course, please, if you need more information, then you know where to find it. And the Saudichress Show. So remember, the Zoom Bingo, very exciting game, and you will, of course, enjoy yourself while you support these necessary cause. All right. So again, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us, in our discussion as we continue to highlight a lot of things that are going on in track and field and in the schools. There you go. All right. So, Miss Ennis and Mr. Williams, very tough question. And I want you to give me your honest opinion. You want you to answer to the best of your athlete or your best of your coaching ability. You have been around for the entire season. You have seen the teams. You have seen your competitors. You know which events you are likely to take. And so I'm sure that you know where to go. Your predictions for this year's Boys and Girls Championship. Who will take the 23 edition of the girls and the boys? Miss Ennis, as usual, I'll take you first. Give me your prediction.
All right. For me, I think Edwin, Alvin will win the girls section. It will be the most competitive year at champs in both the boys and girls section. It will go down to who makes the least mistake, who can monitor, who can have the mental space of the students, who can have their athletes ready throughout the week. Any mistake will cost teams the championship. So for me, it all goes down to the least mistakes. So on the girl side, it will be Edwin for me, and on the boy side, I'm gonna take JC, Jamaica College.
Wow. Edwin Allen for the girls, JC for the boys. Mr. Williams, during the show, you have,
Yeah.
differ a little sometimes from Miss Ennis. I wonder if you have any difference. What's your prediction for the girls and boys championship this year?
I am going to go with Ideal Edwin Omud, top three.
So Idle first
Mm-hmm.
and Edinal in second,
Mm-hmm.
Wormwood third.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a difference,
Yeah,
boys.
and the maybe I am thinking though maybe the ideal team is maybe come up a bit short, but I am still backing them to win it.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Maybe Idle will come up
Yeah,
short.
yeah, because they have a few athletes who are on the injury list, so I do not know the state of where the injury the injuries are. But
Okay.
nevertheless, I am backing them to to win. And one of the reasons is that history have shown history have shown that the team that
Miss Ennis,
wins
why you hiding
yes,
your face, Miss Ennis?
history
Why? That's not the show.
All right,
history
go
history
on,
history
sir.
have shown
Mhm.
history have shown that the team that wins Central goes on to win girls champs. and it's maybe one or two times a team win Central and don't win at champs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am backing the ideal team to win.
All right. Good observation because that is only Central champs team can win champs.
Mm-hmm. Only.
So for the boys, sir.
For the boys,
Hmm.
uh, I like I like what I saw from Calabar, and I think though that Casey, Calabar, JC, that is the top three.
KC, Calabar, JC.
Yeah.
Something came to my mind. Sometimes I can be very troublesome. But I think you have a reason for saying Heidel and Calabar. I'm gonna leave it right there, though.
And no. No, I know the coach pretty well, Yeah. So, but that it has nothing to do with my choice.
Okay. All right.
If you
Fair
were
enough.
follow if you watch the Central Champs closely,
Hmm.
and the championship came down to the 4x4,
Yes.
the final race, and that speaks volume. You understand? So
There, based
so
on my observation, though,
yeah,
there's um some little intricate situations or intricacy in the events, in the athletes, that may differ Central Champs this year from the girls championship.
yeah. But never gonna read that into play, with the transfer of a few
Compound
athletes.
participation,
So
yes.
I will not go any further into it.
Yeah.
We're not too, but just that observation really. But
Mm-hmm.
it's good choice. I like the competition,
Mm.
and I really love the competition. It shows because I was celebrating the evening of Central Chance, and only to wake up to find out that the results turned.
Yeah,
So
I
that's how it
think.
is. It's really exciting to
Yeah, I
see
think they
that
they
aspect of it.
I think that Binga and what the next girl name? Bing Binga
Who you
and
call Idol?
yeah, Binga and what the next girl name from farmer from Ferncourt?
I'm not too sure of the
Watermelon.
names.
And it's
I was just following up lately with those
and
events.
it's and it's no me at that, man. The watermelon from farmer from Ferncourt, man. Oh Jesus, man. Abby
Abigail Campbell.
Campbell.
Okay.
So Abigail Campbell and Binga, they would have done well at the Central Champs, but they are not going to be participating at Boys and Girls Champs.
Okay.
So maybe I would have to change my
And bear in mind that one of Edwin Ali did not perform, one of their top athletes.
yeah, TT.
TT.
Yeah.
So you see, there are some, and
Yeah,
it can
yeah,
go
yeah.
anyway. I mean, look at it because, as Miss Ennis said, the team that made the less mistake or the least mistake
Hmm.
has the great opportunity to
And
do
what
well.
we have to take into consideration, and we have to be very mindful that that Sabrina Dakar did not run. So when you bring the Western athletes into the mix and the corporate athletes into the mix, the and the
Number
West
12.
and the Eastern athletes into the mix, then a lot of schools are going to lose some points.
And that's where that's what I'm saying. There are some intricacies as it relates to the
Yeah.
events
Exactly.
and
Hmm.
also the athletes. So it is very close to call. It is very close to call. But I ask you for your prediction. I will
Hmm.
give you mine. My own prediction, really. I think Edunalin will win by 12 points for girls
Hmm.
championship. And I think JC will take this year's boys champion. So maybe Miss Ennis, you and I are the same right now. But that's just my prediction, and
But you,
I'm not predicting based on love for Ednalin or like. I was just looking at some little, you know, intricate situation, some technical and tactical moves
I
that,
wonder.
you know.
I'm wondering no, if that's why I am in the middle and both are on the outside.
Wow.
Well, it's highly possible, you know. It is possible, you know. Earlier, Miss Ennis was on the inside, but I guess it was
Yeah,
too hot for her. She jumped out.
yeah.
It was too hot for her, so she jumped out.
Yeah, no wonder.
But it is
Well,
really
that's my beauty.
a good balance. And I want to say that let me put this one in the chat just to get all right. We are basically to the end of the show. I will close the show by reading some chats, and you two will have the last say what you want to say to your athletes, to your teams, to your fellow coaches, to Jamaica as it relates to going forward. But let me just take the few that is left in the chat. So from I'm not so good at naming it, but this is what is Quam. Give me this name, Miss
Come in.
Kwaman.
Come in.
Come in. Ennis. All
Come
right.
in.
You have all right. Who is coming?
My brother.
Okay,
Coach of
brother.
Aberdeen.
What? So it's a coaching family.
Ah.
I got you. You never just know having it. You have something in track and field going on for a long time. They, they only try to eliminate possible competition to win the championship, not necessarily the best interest for the athlete per se. We all know when it comes on to competition. I do understand, and I am now agreeing with this situation. People just there are schools, there are teams just want to win, and that is just the nature of it. And I'm saying to you, coaches, you can differ now, but maybe who knows when you get a school like a Edwin, a Heidel, a Veer, when you get that level of assistance and so on and competition, you're not going to sit down with those big teams and saying, "Hey, I'm just developing appearance." You are going to want to win. So I do understand that. Ramai Donaldson, man, I hide out long time, but he will beat me up. 8 persons make a relay team at Kwame. I don't remember what Kwame said before.
No, he
Probably
was he's actually responding to a question. Why the big schools recruit 10 class 4 runners when
okay,
only
and
two
only
can participate in
two
champs?
can. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
But only
So.
four can still run. So even then,
Mhm. Right.
Yeah,
So.
but
even then,
there are cases where some schools have all 20 at class 4 athletes.
I remember 20 at class four athletes
Right,
one year when
right,
my
Saudi.
girl was placed fourth.
Right, Saudi.
20.
Yes.
And yeah,
No. I will not
yes.
talk about the no. Which school?
No, I'm saying that
No,
you have
we're
schools
saying
with
that, for
20 and
example,
30 at class 4 athletes.
For real?
Right, for
For
real?
one
yes,
event or throughout? For
Throughout
one
the
one
event.
years, Saudi.
event. I've seen it. One event. I remember one year I had a class four. She was first year class four. And she came 12 overall. There was 11 from one school in front of her, and there was 9 behind her. That was 20. The following
My
year, she
God.
was second year class four. But unfortunately, none of those girls transitioned to the final of champs. 8 of them remain in class four. So tell me, what do you do with all the others?
Those are the things that I said before. I asked you the question about how unfair it is to the athletes in your situation. But I believe it is also unfair to these young athletes, these young students who cannot really make decisions for themselves. For any school or any coach to be
It
recruiting
is,
20, 30 athletes for one event in one class,
Saudi.
knowing,
It
yes,
is, it is, when persons come at you, I throw TV and fridge and groceries
Preach.
and promise you this and promise you that, and you don't have it, it's a different ball game, It is very impossible for you to say no because you hear things where you never hear before, and you
and
get
that
things where you never have.
when I
But
started,
it's at a cost.
I said to you that you both have money down at your school. The fact that you're able to
No,
hold that.
I don't
So you're
know.
saying it is very difficult for them to say no?
Very difficult. Then hold on. Then if you don't have groceries and you can't afford to buy shoes and uniform and all of these things to give your child, and somebody is willing to do all of that, and and that person is going to keep that athlete at no cost to you, the parent. What you gonna do?
It's a reality. It's a
Yes,
reality to
yeah.
which we live. It is reality. But what I'm saying though, I really can't believe that schools actually would have recruited so many athletes. I
Yes,
do
man.
understand. Well, I do understand if these students are coming through the ranks of the school to make up that 20 class one or class two or class three event 100 whatever it is.
Hey,
Sir, no, trust me. I'll have to get that straight out
Look
of the
on the
heart just to
results.
see.
well, man. 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years
Mhm.
ago,
Yes.
your school, your farmer school, could
Call
I?
him, man. I do not.
Yes, so when we say your farmer, your school, farmer school,
Mm.
could I feel three different teams to go boys and girls champs and finish first, second, and third?
And those athletes are all recruited athletes.
Yes, me not ask so. Majority,
I beg
some, some market don't know. Most
Some might.
because you have athletes in St. Mary that I know for a fact that would have chosen adrenaline as their first choice of school.
right. So would you see that as a recruitment?
No, I wouldn't see it as a recruitment, But hold on. But
Yes.
and I am going to say it is recruitment because let me tell you why. Because those same persons that come and watch them from grade 3, grade 4, and grade 5 and say, yo, adrenaline.
So yes, it is recruitment. Don't hide it. It
Yeah,
is
it is
recruitment.
recruiting, yeah.
It is recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Because
some
them
form
them
of
say,
recruitment.
oh, see, you can't get this one. Me watch this one from grade 3, grade. You understand? That's what them are showing in the book, And I have been to the day sports and I've seen parents and I go to the parent and I say, Miss, give me
They
a
got
argument. Oh, Edwin all in Calabar. And when the boy they are Calabar and can't run,
some.
or the girl they are whichever school and can't run.
They come back to you.
Come back to me.
You play a role, sir. Both
Yeah?
of your coaches play your role. And I'm sure that you are not so hard hitting coaches that you will turn your back on these athletes
Oh no.
because you are for the whole
Mhm.
good of the development of the children. And I must raise my hat to you, sir. Respect to you all because guess what? Many have tried and many have failed. And you continue within your scope of limited resources, within the scope of no field at all, no track. I never heard Miss Ennis mention anything about her track down there at Lacovia. I guess she's satisfied. But I am sure. Okay, give me something. Let us know. What's your take? What's your
All right.
situation down there?
Our track at Lacovia High School was renovated, but honestly speaking, the what they put on the track is worse than what, jeez, what was there. The surface is worse.
What?
The topsoil that they use is worse than what was there. They fixed it, but it is worse than what was there.
Oh, Jesus.
My God.
I don't know where they got the
It did
material
not get
from, where they
any
got
help.
the soil from, but it is worse.
Is
So
it a
we give
company who
thanks.
did this?
It was,
No,
I
you don't
don't
have
know
to
if you
say which
remember.
company. I'm just
I
asking
don't
for a
want to
company.
really say, but I don't know if you remember when they were saying that they were fixing 10 schools in Jamaica. Lacovia was one that was selected.
Oh, okay.
And they came in
Right.
and they fixed. But whoever they gave the contract to,
Mess up.
I don't know what happened, but they made the surface worse.
People, it is very important that we look deeper into Jamaica land we love. We need to understand, we need to appreciate what we have, we need to appreciate where we are coming from. But we can't continue to appreciate what we have and where we are coming from without having a plan to do better going forward. And I will call on corporate Jamaica, the powers that be, to assist our children. We speak about education, we speak about love for our children. But as much as Mr. Williams and Miss Ennis here is enjoying what they do under the circumstances, many of us would believe that they are enjoying it based on the returns, the financial. Well, I can say to you, I don't know what's happening at those schools in terms of assisting with stipend or payment, but I know what it is like to work for free, to give, and not just work for free, but to spend my own money on the
Oh yes.
programs to which I'm involved in.
God, come on a spot.
It is like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying other schools don't, but I can feel your pain. I understand what you go through. With this in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I will give these two bright young coaches the opportunity, uninterrupted, to say what they have to say to Jamaica going forward so we can have a better tomorrow. We start, of course, this time we will start with Mr. Williams because I want to end the show. I start with Miss Ennis, and I want to end it with her. Mr. Williams, your final say, sir.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to big up all the viewers. I know I have a lot of family members watching, my aunts, cousins, my friends. Um, I want to big up Auntie Dana, my mother, and these two ladies have been two of my biggest supporters. I want to big up my principal, Mrs. Sadar. She has been, um, the backbone of the program. The past students have sent me, I want you guys to continue to have faith and courage in us. And parents of the athletes that I coach, continue to encourage them. Right, Sean Smith, I know that you're one of my biggest supporter, and things will get better. And as we go forward, parents, please, try and get involved in your child or children's um, activities. Like, for example, being a student athlete is not an easy task. We must learn to be very disciplined, committed, you know, have strong determination and a willingness to get the assignments done, get the schoolwork done, and importantly, attend training every day. One has to be very disciplined. So keep talking to them, keep motivating them, and we will do the rest. And market, it's not when I said that not all students or all athletes will make it to boys and girls champs. I'm not putting down an athlete, but it's a case where we they are competing against the best of the best, and I want to put this on the record that track and field is the only true sport. Is what you put in, you will get out, and therefore, if your child is not talented or has the required talent to excel in a particular sport, it is going to be very difficult for that child to reach it at a high level or to participate at a high level. And boys and girls champs is a very high level. Eastern champs, Western champs is in the middle. I am not going to say I'm central champs because central champs is a different ball game. So please encourage them to do well. And I will try my very best to motivate them, you know, discipline them, and to use my God given abilities to continue to guide them in the right direction. Thank you. Have a good night.
Most welcome. What a closing statement from Sir Williams. I'm sure your parents, I'm sure the entire St. Mary, I'm sure the entire Eastern Jamaica will be looking forward to great things from St. Mary High and Coach Williams. Now, this is how we started, and we must end in same. Miss Ennis, coach of Lacovia, your final say.
It was a pleasure being online, and I must say thank you for inviting us. I would like to take the time out to say thanks to all the persons who, out of their busy schedule, join us online tonight. My family, I know a lot of them are online. I want to say thanks for your support as usual. Mr. Chloe Warner, coach of the male team, thumbs up to you for always being there. I would like also to say thank you to the Lacovia High School family for joining tonight also. And I must make mention of two persons who are always, and I must say always, the cook who wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Nemad, Mr. Richard Nemad. Thumbs up to you, sir. You're more than a family to us. You're an uncle. We call you Uncle Steve. We must say thank you for the support for this year. He's not a chef, he's actually a groundsman, but he works in the kitchen for us. We must say thank you to him. Miss Edmarie Small, a parent, I must say thank you to you for being our dorm mother. We love you, and we just want to continue to say thank you for all that you have been doing. Parents, I will never ever leave you out. You're always there supporting the Lacovia High School family. Past students, you have come on board and you have played your role. To all the coaches going to champs, I must say all the best. We love you, Lacovia High School girls, boys. Ennis loves you and always have your interests at heart. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Thank you very much, Miss Ennis. What a closing statement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this was a well spent 2 hours and 49 minutes. I couldn't believe we'd have up so long. And I want to say, people, I am so grateful for you to spend such a long time with us. You know that the Saudichress Show is always bringing you sports, entertainment, and education. And you are always being informed. You are always getting the best from what
Somebody,
we have to offer. Yes, sir, Williams.
yeah, before I go,
Yes.
I I don't like to call names, you know. But I
As long as it's positive, man, call all the names.
and from night I did not made mention of my right hand man,
Yes.
Mr. Everton Puddin Taylor.
Puddin, big up yourself. Mr.
Yeah, man.
Taylor himself.
Yeah, man, and yeah, my right hand.
Good, good.
Yeah, so
So you have to give kudos to those who put
yes,
their
man.
heart in it, and nothing is wrong. And people, sometimes we call names and we left out some names. It's not
Yeah,
intentional. But
yeah.
the spirit works and we have to work along with that.
See, Labelle's lifestyle, me not even call her, and she's a very supportive parent.
Oh my God, love it. Hey,
Anytime,
listen
yeah,
to me. I
anytime
don't
with
think
her,
this is the first time Label come on the show. I've seen this name on the show already.
anytime with Thursday, I can say, boy, Miss Bell, say, I'm a shoulder scratch me. And she said, all right, coach, me know your thing, you know? And she
Wow,
moved on.
wow.
But I'm not going to draw it out any longer because I have a few things to do. I need to get a shower. I need to go on the ISA thing to see if they sort out my injuries. And
Yeah,
then
that's
that is
nice.
it.
People, I'm telling you, and coaches, I'll be reaching out to you during the championship. Unfortunately, I cannot be there in person. But guess what? The Saudichress Show will be there. So I'll be reaching out to you for your little bits and pieces of information, little interviews with your athletes and so on. So look out, and people will take it more and more. TVJ, CVM, Sportsmax, whoever will be at the championship will not be able to cover all the athletes or all the coaches or all the events per se, what's going on beyond the scene. So I promise the Saudichress Show will try to do that. So coaches, we will continue to work along with you. And thank you very much again for joining the Saudichress Show. I know that you have added much value to our show, and we'll hope to see you again. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night. It is a pleasure being here with you tonight. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we leave you and hope that we'll see you come Wednesday, where we have another interesting show on education. We'll have a very vibrant guest, somebody that you probably would have known for a number of years. Let's see what you have in take. You'll not see who are here who until later on Wednesday. So look out. And again, people, if you have not yet subscribed to the Saudichress Show, I'm asking you for that one last subscription. I know my two guests will do so as soon as they get off. We're just 697. We wanted to reach the 700 mark. So I'm sure we'll be at least 699 before the night is out. Thank you very much, everyone. And this is where we leave you. See you Wednesday as we talk education. Thank you and good night.
Good night.